So the end times is about freedom from burdens and oppressive control through Christ's Lordship. Okay? Through Christ's Lordship. Galatians 5:1. For it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened with the yoke of slavery. You know what will happen? If you go back to that yoke, that to be burdened by the yoke of slavery, do that, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, you have to do that. You know what happened? You go back into deeper sin. You see, when Abraham Lincoln freed that lady, did he tell her, you have to do this? You have to do that? What did he say? No, you're free to go. He didn't tell her, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. He set her free. But she automatically followed him. You see that? You and I, you can feel free to follow Jesus. So the question you're asking me, I know, so how do I overcome my sin? I feel a bondage to sin. I'm a slave to sin. And the same sin over and over again. Can I tell you something? This is the application part. It's very easy. If you can accept it. When you sin, when you go into the sin that gets you over and over again, this is what you need to do. Remember that we sang the song Amazing Grace just now? You need to come before the Lord and say, Lord, I'm under your grace. Thank you. And feel His grace. God's grace is very powerful. Okay? The grace I'm talking about is not the same grace that some others may talk about. Some others, they talk about a grace that is very weak. But I'm talking about amazing grace. I'm talking about biblical grace. I'm talking about the Greek word charis. It's a very powerful word, charis. That's the grace. That's amazing grace. You see? And that grace, anytime you sin, say if you told a lie, come before the Lord and say, Lord, I'm under your grace. And then add one more sentence. Say, Lord, I cannot stop lying, but I know you can. Jesus can stop lying, right? Right? We can do it. So Jesus will stop lying to you. Amen? You be honest with God. God, I cannot stop lying. But I know you can. You see? And Jesus will stop lying to you. God knows the details of your struggle. Maybe some of you are having anxiety. Lots of anxiety. Lots of anxiety. You don't know how to stop. You know, Philippians 4:6 says, do not be anxious. Right? Everybody knows, every Christian knows that Bible verse. And you keep telling yourself, do not be anxious, do not be anxious. Stop that. Don't burden yourself. Don't condemn yourself. God knows you don't want to be anxious. So what do? You go to the Lord and say, Lord, I'm so anxious. I can't give up. I don't know how to give it up. But I know you can give it up. You see? So then He will do it. You see? When you give up is when He does it. But if you still try to do it through self-discipline, I'm telling you this, self is very dangerous. You know why it's dangerous? Because self is too weak. Self is not strong enough to help you give up your sin. It's not strong enough. But Jesus is strong enough. You see? He can set you free.